So I want to talk about open source software, why it's important, and why the feminists are going after it. It's important, but at the same time, it's not the answer to everything. Unfortunately, there's no easy answer to what men are facing. This war against men, because we are facing a war against men, a social culture war, and an actual war against men, a class war against men. Okay, so they tried to push in age verification for Linux, to install Linux on your computer, and some organisations are complying, the feminist captured ones, and others are not. Some distributions are refusing to comply, others are. Others complied right away. Now, if you read the defunct Black Pill blog, that doesn't exist any longer. You have to go back to the Wayback Machine to find it. The Black Pill, the original Black Pill, not the current nihilistic version, right? But the original Black Pill, he talked about open source software being taken over by feminists. Like he was talking about like Firefox being taken over by feminists, and feminists did take over Firefox, and that's why Firefox has died off. Basically, when feminists take over a corporation, it dies off because they're too focused on feminist initiatives, driving the men out, the productive men out, and just like destroying it out of spite. Okay, so he talked about this, and we're seeing what's happening, and there are channels sort of calling this out, but they're doing it under like a false consciousness frame of reference. They don't talk about the feminism, obviously. They might mention the woke, but not the feminism. So open source software, the only reason to introduce age verification for like Linux is to stop people, men, using it. So if you want to use this open source software, you've got to dox yourself. You've got to show your face and you've got to show your ID, and it can get leaked and stolen, which happens all the time. So you just got to dox yourself to enjoy your hobbies, right? If you want to install a nice bit of like Linux on an old computer and you want to play around with it, you got to dox yourself. That's what they're aiming for, right? Okay, this is what they want, and it's a very predictable pattern. It's all stuff that men enjoy, right? I promise you, in the future, when you buy comics online, you can buy digital formatted comics, right? You're going to need to age verify it because comics is seen as a male thing. Women won't need to age verify the romance novels for the rape and the sexual assault, right? But men will need to age verify their stuff. But they're trying to introduce it into video games. They've already introduced it into some video games, right? Age verification. Okay, we'll see how this goes. We'll see if it fails or succeeds. I hope it fails. So we are going to live in an era, right, where a woman can scan your face. She doesn't even have to know you. She'll see your face. She'll take a picture. She'll scan your face. She'll use AI to find out who you are, or go to the police and say this person assaulted me. She can just make it up, and they'll find out who you are. They'll find you, and they'll arrest you. This is a future that's coming for us. Okay, Discord is it's run by the government, American government. It's an American government captured organization. That's why it's feminist spice as well, because feminism is the establishment. It's not a countercultural movement. It is the current thing. It's the establishment. It's imperialism. Feminist supports imperialism, right? So Discord, they went along with it because it's government captured. They want people scanning themselves and doxing themselves. So men ignore the feminist threat. They withdrew from the problem. They hid in their own spaces. They coped, right? They went get woke, go broke, hoping for everything to self-correct, right? And it's just gotten worse. It's gotten worse. You're going to be surprised. Eventually, mobile phones. When you buy a new mobile phone, you're going to have to like dox yourself, right? Like Windows 11, right? Windows 11, you've got to give an email address and a phone number to use your Windows 11, which is absolutely fucking outrageous. It's a disgrace, especially the phone number part. That's just data mining. But you're going to eventually, to use Windows, you're going to have to dox yourself with Government ID. Trust me, that's coming. Microsoft love that stuff because they're part of the establishment. So look, our best hope is that we have like alternatives built by like global South countries that we can use. Like hopefully What Russia and China need to do, they need to make their own video platform for English speaking people, so they can like kill off YouTube, because YouTube just promotes the mainstream narrative. That's feminist capture as well, of course, right? Okay, I've been falsely reported off YouTube in the past. I've been falsely reported off Twitter. Free speech. Elon Musk took me down for with false reports that feminists made. Right. This is a dystopian nightmare. This is why we need our own counterculture as men. It needs to be a pro-male counterculture. Nothing else will do. Open source software is actually very important, but it's not the answer to everything. Because if we're complacent, unfortunately, feminists take over the open source software spaces. Because I joined this open source Reddit alternative that I can't remember the name of, like a year and a half ago, and we created our own forum on it, and the male feminists shut it down within 2 days. They called it misogynistic, right? He just shut it down. It was meant to be an open source, free speech alternative, and feminists just came in and shut it down. The feminists will take it over. You have to gatekeep the feminists out. You have to identify the feminists. You actually have to ask people questions before you allow them into your spaces. And if they're feminists, you just have to ban them outright. Period. It's the only thing that's going to work. Men are not prepared to do that. We're going to be dominated and ruled over. We have to outcast the feminists. We have to ban them. We have to deplatform them. We have to censor them. We have to do to them what they do to us. None of this like free speech concern trolling. They don't deserve free speech because they'll take our speech away from us. We've got to sink to their level and fight fire with fire and ban them. So anyway, that's all for now. Over and out.